You're watching Pyro Media Network. Hello, Pyro Media family. Thank you for tuning in. If this is your first time joining us, welcome. We hope your experience with us is fruitful. While we are loading your experience, please do us a quick favor and hit that like button from whichever platform you're watching or listening on. And we do hope you consider hitting that subscribe or follow button so you can check out more of our amazing content. All right, let's start the show.
We're in trances, going off to different places, different planets. Watch your aura pass me by, losing balance. What if we run out of time and second chances? Empty-handed, you like fast life, you like to drive, get done.
Good morning, Grand Rising. Happy day to everybody. La-da-da-da. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you're just tuning in, make sure that you are hitting that like button. It does help the algorithm, and we appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for coming through, and subscribe here. Yes, yes, yes. Whether you're watching on Pyro Media Network or Kwame Speaks Official, or anywhere. Thank you so much for coming through. We appreciate you, Royals, and I hope you're having a wonderful, wonderful day. Yes, we got a lot to talk about today. I actually came on getting ready to do something else, but the Lord took over. He took the reins. He took the reins of the buggy, the horse and buggy, and drove on this morning. So we thank God for it. We thank God for it. Hold on, am I on here? Oh yeah, I gotta get on here. All right. We thank God for it. Yes. Sorry guys. One man show here. Thank you so much for tuning in. There we go. I gotta lower down. Okay, there we go. Cool. We're in it. We're in it to win it. Who is in the building? Hey, Cupcakes. What in the Tina Snow Freaka League robe is going on? Girl, I've worn this before. You're late. Greetings from the tired high school administrator. Drink some coffee and some tea. It's a black tea. You'll be all right. It's a good tire, though. I bet it is. I bet it is a good tire. Inside joke, y'all. Major Boys, what is up, King? Thank you so much. I appreciate you. How are you doing today? I hope you're doing well. Haven't seen you in a month of Sundays, sir. Haven't seen you in a month of Sundays, but I have seen you in the comments on the replay. So thank you for watching and still supporting, King. We appreciate you. Awesome. All right, you guys, let's go ahead and get into some things here. We got a lot to talk about. But I say we go give one of them kids $1. You'll feel it right. Okay. Go spend some money on them children, Dr. Holmes. See how shady coming in? She is. She woke up like that. Very shady. Who pissed in your Cheerios today, Cupcake? Huh? Was it the dog? Who was it? What's going on here? Why are you so upset? We're all in a good mood at Major. Where Major at? Wait, maybe. Oh, is he not on Pyro's? Maybe he's on Kwame Speaks. Nope. Everybody's showing up is on here. I don't know. They've been in my office all day asking for recommendation letters. Leave me alone. Right then, we can get to it. Start typing. Anywho, y'all, let's go ahead and get into some things. We have some stuff to talk about. First of all, before we get into anything, I have this is not really a product alert. It's more of a product review really quickly. And I'll go into a deeper dive on some of these products on a Kwame Speaks Live video. But I don't know if you guys remember, but I've been testing out this this Juno skin. I'm almost done with it. I think I have maybe like, I don't have a lot left. Yeah, I think I have maybe a couple of more nights or a couple more uses out of this. But I'm definitely gonna buy more. I will say that I don't like the scent because this one, they have different scents or whatever, but this particular one has like citrus in it. It's like a citrusy scent, and I'm not a big fan of citrus unless it's in the kitchen. But that's just me. If you like citrus, this is really good. But I still think that this is a really good one. I've been using it for the past month, and it's a really phenomenal cleansing balm. So definitely check it out. Let's talk about you. Why do you do that? That stays in the convo, in the text convo. Too much. What did Major say? Hello everyone. Hope you're all doing very well. Yes, girl. Anywho, yes. So this is can't tell Cupcake nothing. You see how she is, Dr. Holt? Threw me off my game. Anyway, so yeah, I definitely recommend this if you guys are looking for a cleansing balm. So definitely check that out. So yes, let's get into some things here, y'all. I'm gonna move really quickly through this because I have a meditation thing that we need to talk about. Chrisean, y'all. Chrisean. So apparently, I ain't in it. So apparently, Chrisean lost over 200,000 followers yesterday due to her going and what did she say? Due to her putting her that tattoo or whatever she did on her face. The tattoo of Blueface on her face. She lost 200,000 followers. Now, you need to get the and the new plush pudding. Oh, I don't have the new plush pudding. But the new Fenty lip balm, I'm definitely going to order that. I think I have the old plush pudding. Yes. I still got a couple more uses out of it. I don't like buying new stuff unless I'm done with it. But yeah, I'll definitely check it out. I heard a lot of good things about the lip balm though. But I digress. But yes, she lost over 200,000 followers yesterday. Now, some people are like, is Miss Cupcake doing okay today? Yes. Now, some people are like, oh, well, it's just followers, whatever. She has a lot more. Yeah, but that's significant. When this hasn't happened since I think Azealia Banks, when she went after Zayn Malik. When she called him, I don't want to say it on here, but she said something very derogatory about him, and she had been saying stuff before that was crazy, but it wasn't to the point where she said something super derogatory about Zayn Malik, and she lost a lot of followers, and I think she lost her Instagram for a while, if I'm not mistaken. Also, when Tasha K, did that thing with when she lied on Cardi B, she lost a tremendous amount of followers and subscribers rather on YouTube. I think she gained them back, but yeah, this girl has serious issues. She does. I think I'm at a point where I'm just looking at her like, girl, this is beyond. I'm not even trying to read her. Like, this is beyond, this is beyond. This is beyond, girl. You are doing things that, and I think from what I saw, she ain't got no issues. I really I really think that in addition to her, whether you want to call her silly or having mental issues, whatever it is. Because I do think that we need to stop addressing or stop telling everybody that they have mental issues. But like what Cupcake just said, because Dr. Holt brought this up yesterday a couple of times, I believe on Pyro and on the Walt B Connection. Like Dr. Holt said yesterday, at some point we got to stop blaming mental health and just call out the stupid when we see it. Yeah, because at some point it's not mental health. I mean, it may be a culmination of things. It could be mental health, and it could be the fact that that's just the way they are. You know, but yeah, okay, that's spine surgery this month. That's why you've been out, Major Boys. Oh, we're definitely keeping you in prayer for a speedy recovery, sir. No, we got to get that spine back aligned. Oh, bless you, sir. I didn't even know that. Definitely gonna keep you in my prayers. For sure, my morning prayers. But yeah, I definitely think that there's something going on with Chrisean. I don't know what the problem. I don't know what hold Blueface has on her, but honey, there's something going on, and I think it's beyond the D. Something's going on beyond the D. But yeah, that's that. Another thing that came up this morning. Actually, my brother had sent me an article about it last night, and I didn't really read it until this morning because I saw that it was trending on Today. Now, we know this is obviously, for those who may not know, this is Elon Musk, and he is the current CEO of Twitter, or X, formerly known as Twitter. But he also has been, he is also the CEO of Neuralink. And Neuralink, you can... I'm sorry. I just got a text message. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That took me out. Stop it. I'm trying to focus. Anyway. Too much. That was good, girl. That was good. Oh God, a laundry. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Things are regarded as able watching more. Yes, absolutely. God is very able. We're gonna talk about God a little bit. But let me finish up with Madame Melangero. So he is also the CEO of Neuralink. Neuralink is an organization or a company that is working on developing a chip that can go surgically be put into your brain, where you can kind of move things, or not move things. It's not like telepathy, but like you can do things with it. For example, you can go ahead and check your bank account. You can be scanned into different things. There's multitude of things, but basically it's a chip that goes into your brain. I'm just giving a layman's term. You guys can look it all up. And yes, this is not science, or this is not science fiction. This is actually something that is happening. So he tweeted yesterday. Was it yesterday? Yes, yesterday, last night. The first human received an implant from Neuralink yesterday and is recovering well. Initial results show promising neuron spike detection. My God, and today. So he further tweets rather. What is it now? Because is it tweeting? Or is it Xing? I don't know what's going on. Anyway, he further tweets, enables control of your phone or computer and through them almost any device just by thinking. Initial users will be those who have lost the use of their limbs. Imagine if Stephen Hawking could communicate faster than a speed typist or auctioneer. This is the goal. Now, hold on, what did he say also? For the first Neuralink product, it's called telepathy. Okay. I think that this scientific, the devil is dead. I know that's right. Girl, no. The devil is dead indeed. It's tweeting. It's going to always be tweeting. It's going to always be tweeting, Alondria. Always. So listen, this is the thing. I definitely, y'all know I'm all about science, and I love, science, and I love, all of that stuff. Like, I think it's important to make sure that we are progressing, as far as science is concerned. The problem that I have with this is, number one, it's Alondria Musk. It's Alondria Musk. The second thing that I have a concern with is spiritual, because at the end of the day, I believe the Bible, right? And I believe that revelations will happen. The stories that are going to be in Revelations will happen. And so some people are calling this the beginning of the mark of the beast. Others are saying that it is the sign of the times. All of these different things are happening. So I'm concerned about this because at the end of the day, what does this mean for everyone else? Is this going to be, because if it's basically a chip, a computer in your brain. Computers can be hacked, right? And so there's so many things and so many variables rather that are happening or that can happen with this particular situation. And so that's where one of my concerns are. Hey, Michaela, what's up, little sis? How you doing, Queen? Cupcake says hard pass. You can get one, Alondra, and let us see how it works on you. Exactly. Right, Major. So on one hand, I'm a little torn on this. On one hand, I'm like, it really is a deterrent for me because of the fact that like we're talking about Elon Musk, and I don't trust you, girl. I don't trust you. I really do think that you're an alien in a human suit. That's just my personal opinion. I know it sounds crazy, and it may be, but I have look at him. Have you guys seen him? He looks like he's wearing a suit. If you have not seen Men in Black, you don't know what I'm talking about. But girl, I'm telling you that I think Elon Musk is an alien. That's just my personal opinion. However, that's here nor there. In reality, at the end of the day, I just still don't trust someone having that much control or coming into my brain like that. That's concerning to me. On the other hand, something that I had a discussion with someone, I believe it was my big brother. We had a conversation about this, and one of the things that we talked about is because we always like to kind of look at things objectively sometimes, regardless if we agree with it or not, because it helps expand the conversation and it helps provide critical thought and critical thinking to add into the conversation. And so one of the things that that was brought up in that conversation is what happens when you are looking at classism, right? For example, if that becomes the mainstream thing, what happens when you are not a part of that? For example, we look down on people who don't have a debit card. You need to have a debit card in order for you to get your money out of a bank. You need to have a debit card in order for you to purchase things. I mean, you can purchase things with cash, but how are you going to get the cash out, right? You need a debit card. I feel like you need to flat iron your beat. Right now, I haven't styled it yet. We're gonna get to that in a minute. But I'm not flat ironing my beard. I'll cut it before I do that. That's too much. But I think that we need to look at that, right? Like we now know, like when it comes to debit cards, even people who don't have phones, right? Who don't have cell phones. If you don't have a cell phone, we're kind of looking at you like, why don't you have a cell phone, girl? Like it gets you plugged into the world. You don't have to have, an iPhone or the latest iPhone or the latest Android or whatever, but you not having a cell phone, it's kind of, people will tend to look at you a little differently, right? So what happens when this becomes the norm? What happens when this becomes the thing where everybody's getting, all of the who's who, and it becomes a part of, like, in order for you to get into restaurants, you have to have a chip in your head or a Neuralink. In order for you to go on a plane, you have to have a Neuralink. In order for you to just like we need to have passports in order for us to travel outside of the United States. Just like we need to have a driver's license in order for us to have to be able to drive, right? All of that will be put on the Neuralink. What happens when that becomes the norm? Do we accept that? That's where the conundrum is for me. And I'm like, what happens when it becomes a part of mainstream society, when it becomes the norm? So something to think about, something to really like kind of process and yeah, that's just, it's kind of, I don't know, because we can sit here. I mean, I've even like I had to stop and think, because even me, like I'm like, I will sit there and be like, no, fight the power or whatever. But at the end of the day, in order for us to live and conform, we have to conform to some way, shape, or form, right? At the end of the day. But yeah, so I don't know. I don't know if I would feel comfortable putting a chip in my brain. I don't know. But what happens if it becomes the norm and it becomes the standard for everything? So yeah. Michaela says, I'm going off and wait. Wait, I don't put chip in my head. I know that's right. Dr. Holt said, crack the sky, said, we need to get out of here. Come get us, Lord. Bless you, Lord. All right. All right, here we go. Y'all. Candace Owens. Candace Owens is back at it again. And she's going to segue into my main topic for this morning. My main meditation topic. And usually I do the main meditation topic at the beginning, but we're growing, we're flowing, we're doing new things. Why are you looking at this? Yeah. Y'all are a mess. This would be the time for me to go because ain't nothing going up in my head. That's crazy. I know that's right. Y'all are a mess. Dr. Holt says she's actually cute on this picture, but she makes me sick. Y'all are a mess. Amazing. Another way for them to know our thoughts and influence our decision. Yeah. And I wonder, Major, is that going to be something? Now, like I said, everything has a double-edged sword. We may have a situation where we are going into they can track, they can do more, have more control over us. But at the same time, will this be an opportunity for doctors to find out if people are sick faster? Can it detect cancer quicker? Can it detect colds or your body algorithms faster? Can doctors when they're performing emergency surgery, can they get a better scan of your body or a better idea? So there's a double-edged sword to all of it. So it can be used, if it's used for good, it can do a lot of great things. But at the same time, I don't know if I want a chip in my head. Is there another way we can do this where you don't have to put something foreign that I wasn't born with in my body? I don't know. Thought provoking. Cupcake says, "Why she got her daddy coat?" Anyway, let's get back to Candice show. So Candace Owens, Candace O, she went on her show. She went viral because of a response that she did. And for those who watched the Walt B Connection last night, oh no, sorry, was it on there? Did we talk about that? I think we did. Or maybe we talked about something else. I don't remember. Anyway, she responded to this. So before I show you what how she responded to, I'm going to show you this video real quick. Take a look.
That's why I think this United story and the DEI story hits so hard, because we've all been in the back of a plane when the turbulence hits, or when you're flying through a storm and you're like, I'm so glad I saw the guy with the right stuff and the square jaw get into the cockpit before we took off. And I feel better now.
No, I mean, like, you want to go thought crime? Like, I'm sorry. If I see a black pilot, I'm going to be like, boy, I hope he's qualified.
Well, that's the you wouldn't have done that. You wouldn't have done that before.
That's not an immediate.
No, you wouldn't have done that before.
That's not who I am. That's not what I believe.
It is the reality the left has created.
Okay, so this really pissed me off when I saw this, and that was Charlie Kirk. He's a right-wing commentator or whatever and stuff like that. So whatever, I don't really care about what he said. But what he said was very racist, right? And we all know that. We're not stupid at the end of the day, right? Dr. Holt, it's too early for you to be cussing. All that can be done without a brain chip. I agree, Major Voice, absolutely. Her hands look very Crypt Keeper-ish. Stop it. Okay. I agree, though. But yes. So he said all of that or whatever, and things went viral. People, had a problem with it. People had commentary, and they spoke on it. First of all, if I see you in a cockpit, Charlie, I would be like, boy, I hope he's not on. That ever drove you. Y'all are a mess. Michaela said, next time he gets on the plane and that pilot is black, they don't want to look at them and type. Listen. That's a whole nother conversation. But she responded to that because she said that. Well, I'm gonna let her speak for herself. Yeah, because she added to the conversation as Candace Owens always does. Take a look.
I'm trending on Twitter for 3 days over really just saying common sense things.
I'm sorry, just really quickly. Does anybody find her voice like super irritating? Like just like her voice, it's like nails on a chalkboard for me. But we're gonna hang in there, okay? Praise Jesus. Let's see what have her continue talking.
That should be accepted as common sense, which is that none of us should want to fly in the skies with pilots that have been installed there to fill a DEI initiative. Quite literally, United Airline CEO came out and said that they just had a magic number that they wanted to hit of DEI pilots. They want to make sure there's more women. They want to make sure that there is more Black people, which means that their efforts to employ people, which, by the way, is fundamentally racist and sexist, judging people by how they look and things of that nature, is really going to harm us as the flyers. So, of course, Charlie Kirk have come out and said, that makes us nervous to fly. We're going to wonder now when we see a Black person or a woman, whether or not they are qualified or whether it's just the United CEO trying to hit his quota. I personally want to live in a world that's a meritocracy. Please, I don't care what color they are. Just make sure they can fly this plane. That's it.
Okay, girl. So I completely, as obviously you guys know, I completely disagree with her. And I don't want to just sit here and call her, peanut head or anything like that, just to read her. I want to actually intellectually, have a conversation about what she's saying. So what she's talking about, and for those who may not know what DEI is, DEI stands for diversity, equity, and inclusion. And it started, I want to say around 2020, really when people were, well, I first became known about, I don't know if it started in 2020, but I first became aware of it around 2020, 2021. But DEI, the whole purpose of DEI was to bring in diversity, equity, and inclusion into the workforce and the corporate world. And so those things, like we started having more conversations about how we can create policies and how we can create ways for people to come into and feel more comfortable coming into the workforce, right? Creating spaces so people don't have a lot of microaggressions. We started seeing a lot of minorities, LGBTQI+, and other disenfranchised groups feeling like they are unable to work comfortably and without feeling harassed or feeling like they're getting microaggressions or etc. Right? So we got that. Now we know what DEI is. The right has been angry about DEI because it causes more HR conversation. It causes more human resources engagement. And people know that when you hear HR, people get really, really nervous about it. And so they're like, oh, HR, oh, no, you don't want to be in the HR office, that means you got to write up or whatever. But it's because people were getting tired of being like, you touching my beard. Oh, that's so nice and soft. Why are you touching my beard? Or, is that it? What are you mixed with? You look so pretty. Like different things that are microaggressions or whatever that people deal with. We know what it is. I don't have to go into a whole space into that. What she was talking about, and what Charlie Kirk was alluding to, as far as like, or what she was talking about specifically about people coming into these CEOs are picking or having space, for hiring and only hiring those just because they are a minority or a part of whatever. That's not true. Even if you fit the very nice nasty major, very nice nasty. Even if you fit the qualifications or not the qualifications, if you fit the mold of the DEI inclusion or DEI spots that they have, that doesn't necessarily mean that you are qualified to have the job. So that just means that you just have the look, or you have the quota that they're trying to meet for opportunity to work in that space, right? Because obviously we have to work 10 times more harder, specifically Black women, specifically LGBTQI plus of color, specifically people of color in general. We have to work a lot harder than our white counterparts because to get paid more, to have more opportunity for growth within your career, for random things, a lot of different things. And so that's why these corporations are trying to bring in, more, because we're only seeing corporations come in during Pride time when they want to get our dollars, right? Or they're only seeing corporations come in around Juneteenth or around February when Black History Month is happening. So that way we're going to have a Black History Month party. We want to make sure everybody's diverse and inclusive so you can get our Black dollars. Look at us, we're doing things for the coloreds. That's not okay. So we need to have, and the only way for us to fix those things is corporations need to make sure that their boards, that their executive teams, that their spaces, that their advisors council is diverse. And so that means bringing in more women. That means bringing in more women of color. That means bringing in more LGBTQIA. That means bringing in more people of color who are qualified for those positions. That doesn't necessarily mean that, because you're Black or because you're a Black woman or because you're a Black gay man or what have you, that you get to go into that space. So Candace, you're wrong on that. That's not how that works. That's not how any of that works. You need to actually have a space for you need to be qualified in order for you to get that opportunity. So people who are attacking the DEI space is the issue, right? But that's a whole nother conversation. So then Candace goes and alludes, or not even alludes, she says she wouldn't feel comfortable, flying if it was a woman in the cockpit. Listen, Candace, I don't know who you're cowtailing for. We know who you're cowtailing for, but that's not the point. We know who you're cowtailing for. But at the end of the day, let's be intellectually honest about the situation. You run around and they think that you are, just because you're banging the tambourine and just because you're saying, they tell you to jump. Oh, sorry, I got a DM. Just because they're telling you to jump and you say how high, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're right. And just because you sound intelligent doesn't mean that you are. Just because you sound like you're woke doesn't mean that you are. So there's a lot of things that you're doing right now, and that one of the main reasons why I have an issue with you is that you are perpetuating the issues that Black women have to go through in their careers. You are perpetuating the issues of opportunities and spaces that a lot of people, and the whole reasoning why DEI was even created, that's an issue. And the problem that I have with you is not that you're speaking on what you feel you think is right, but my problem is that you're not educated on the situation. You're only going off just to say things that are salacious. At this point, I don't even think that you even believe half of the things that you say. And if you do, it's because you're probably really brainwashed. That's just how I feel, girl. So, you know what? Yeah. Y'all need to stop calling. Yeah, it's not. Y'all really need to stop. Not Brussels sprout. Y'all are worse than gay. Her than not both of them. Guys, I was trying to have an intellectual response to her. Not Sesame Seed. Oh, y'all are a mess. Y'all are a mess. But Candace, I think you really need to pay attention to who you're talking to, what you're talking about, and really just kind of grow up a little bit, because nobody cares at this point. Okay? All right, poo-poo. All right, that's what I just wanted to get real on. I mean, because at the end of the day, we need to really understand what her motivation is behind this. And I really don't believe that she believes half of the things that she says at this point. I really don't. Now, does she say certain things that you have to just kind of toughen up about different things? Yeah, okay, get it, got it. All right, cool. But at the end of the day, I know what your motivation is, girl, and you love them Trump ticket or them Trump checks. But what you don't really understand is at the end of the day, when if stuff was to really pop off, they're gonna throw you in the jail just like, and on the cotton field just like the rest of us. So you're not going anywhere cool. Just so you know, just so you're aware of everything. Important. All right, that's enough for Candace Owens. Let's get into why I titled today's episode, "Are You Ready to Change? Are you really ready to change?" And I wanted to have this conversation because I saw what's up, Dana? How you doing, King? Miss you too, and love you too, brother. Appreciate you, Dana Dane. Yeah, so y'all. Okay, we're done with Candace Owens. Let's move on. I know I triggered some of y'all. I'm so sorry. Let's move on. All right. Okay. All right. Let's. That was funny, Cupcake. That blow pop. All right. Let's move on. So, are you really ready to change? And what I mean by that is that are you really ready to really have the conversation of, we're seeing things stagnant. We're seeing things, go into a situation. We're seeing revelations come through, especially with the church and stuff like that. And we're also seeing, and this is something that I don't think a lot of people are talking about either. We're seeing situations where people are bringing the old church, things that have traumatized people, and the church tactics that have traumatized people, and they're bringing it into other spaces. They're creating organizations, they're creating communities, they're creating what do you call it? Clubs, whatever the situation is, right? Outside organizations, whatever, because that's ultimately what a church is an organization, right? And so they're creating these different spaces, and they're taking what they, and a lot of them are also people that are called, they're saying that these are inclusive churches. Right. They're called inclusive churches too, right? Not all inclusive churches, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of inclusive churches that are doing some really great work, and really believe in their mission. But you cannot take a system that was used to oppress you, just think that, oh, well, if we strip off the bad parts, we can. The system was created around oppression. The system was created around control. The system was created around to build a business and to build a funnel of things to make people feel othered, right? And people, that's really what the focus of everything is. It's like, that's really what Jesus came down and to have a conversation about. It's like, stop othering people. Stop making people feel othered, because he was othered completely. He was othered. When you make people feel isolated, when you make people feel bad, when you make people feel like they're not worthy based off of what you feel and what you deem, God already has already told you that you're worthy. God has already told you that you are more than enough, because he created you. You just have to walk in it. You just have to walk in it. We have gotten to a point, you know what, before I even get there, I want you guys to see this, because I saw this on Larry Reed Live's IG, and it literally shifted my entire show this morning. And I want you to watch this, because it really was brilliant. There's this woman, her name is Dr. Kia Conaway, and she spoke at a convention talking to the Black church. Take a look, take a listen.
David Kinnaman, who is the president of Barna Group, created this concept called mosaics, where he says that millennials are like Moses. We made an exodus from the church. And this was before we were finished college, right? He said that every generation you can track that they will come back to church between the ages of 18 and 25 when they have children, so that they can christen their children. But he predicted that millennials will be the first generation not to do that. And that is what happened. And so now you have millennials, who many of you think are anyone younger than you. I want to help you today. I'm a millennial and I have a 6-year-old. I'll be 40 in about 18 months. Millennials are not young people anymore. Some of us have grandchildren. And so if you're worried about millennials, I hate to break it to you, but you're 3 generations behind. Millennials are born 1981 through 1996, right? And then you have Gen Z. These are people who were born in 1997 through 2012. And then you have my daughter, who's Gen Alpha, who was born after 2013. And so if you are concerned about millennials, I hate to break it to you, but you're 3 generations behind. 3 generations. And so when you start with millennials, who are largely unchurched, they're raising kids who don't know what VBS is. And so we have to figure out what the church can do differently. I won't say what the church is doing wrong, what the church can do differently to go back and wrap our arms around 3 generations. What we talked about was the issue is the church today is struggling to bring our concept of divinity to the lived experience of people's humanity. And so again, if you think about millennials who have children who are not in church, who are also having children who are not in church, my daughter's generation is the most liberal generation that's ever faced this earth. She has little boys in her class who have pink nail polish. She gets invited to birthday parties with kids who have 2 mommies. And so if you want to attract millennials, you need to preach a gospel that helps us contend with that. And if you are opposed to discussing people who have pronouns and whatever else, then you are going to get left behind. It's not a question about your theology, but how do you help people grapple with their humanity? And so we suggested that a lot of pastors take some classes on gender identity and how to discuss those issues from a theological standpoint, because these are the lived experiences of the people who have chosen not to come inside your churches. The other piece was the elephant in the room, women in ministry. A lot of millennials are refusing to engage in ministries that do not honor women. And it is to the peril of this body to continue to do that. If you would like to engage the 3 generations you are losing, you're going to have to honor women as equally as you honor men.
Now, she right. She trying to tell y'all to listen. She has talked and talked and talked. I want to unpack a little bit about what she's saying. And if you guys want to watch it again, you guys can either rewind or you can go to Larry Reed Live's Instagram page and find that's where I found this video. Dr. Conaway said something, or said a lot of things, but said a lot of things that were very powerful. A lot of times you may hear people talking about, we're talking about these young generation, this new generation or whatever, they keep saying millennials. They keep saying millennials, or they'll say Gen Z, or they don't even know that there is another generation that's after Gen Z. Gen Z is already moving into the next stage. They're already moving into, they're about to start repopulating. They're about to move into, give it another couple of years, they're going to move into where millennials are at. And millennials are going to move into where Gen X is now. So it's a conversation that needs to happen, because where are you going to go down? A lot of times people will sit there and say, a church dies when they stop having children, or when they don't have a lot of youth, or when they don't have youth in their building. And that happens because people don't feel comfortable raising their child in that space, right? And everybody's been so focused on talking to millennials that they forgot that Gen Z is there. And because Gen Z is just too complicated to have a conversation with, right? Because they're just not willing to have conversation on that level. They're not willing to want to adjust to how to speak to Gen Z, right? But now we're getting Gen Alpha, who's coming into the mix, and we barely understood how to even talk to Gen Z. Right, they're already calling us elder brother. Right, exactly. The Lord, all my kids are Gen Z, and they stay on my which is fine. Like that everybody's not gonna have the, I'm gonna tell on topic. Everybody's not gonna have the, the greatest communication everywhere, right? And we just, it's a learning process. It's a growing pain. But you have to be willing to want to talk to the next generation. You have to be willing to want to have a conversation, and not just have a conversation for the sake of having tithes and offerings, because that's how it feels. It feels like you only want to have a conversation with us now because you're seeing that boomers are passing away. Gen X are also getting up in age, and they're also not coming, some of them are not coming back, and they're only coming back out of loyalty. You've lost damn near 75% of millennials, and Gen Z doesn't even want to come. Like, you're not even going to see Gen Z there unless they're being forced to be there, right? And then we're also talking about Gen Alpha. Gen Alpha is not even there. They're not even in that stage. You got real old manish on your birthday. You are an elder. You got real hilarious. But like my point is that there needs to be a conversation about inclusion. We heard these warnings from the late great Carlton Pearson, okay, and how he was, his ministry of inclusion was in there. Whether there's dogmatic differences that you have in beliefs or whatever, that we're not talking about doctrine, we're not talking about ideology, we're talking about conversation about growing as a unit, as a body of Christ, as a kingdom, and that is where we're having difficulty in, because we are so focused on making everybody else feel like others. They only sit, like the youth will sit in the back, or if you're gay, then you need to either we don't want to. It's a don't ask, don't tell type situation. Or if you are, your partner's in there, that there's two lesbians in there, there's two gay men in there, and that they're together, they live together. Oh, that's just his little friend. No, girl, that's his lover. Lover. They are in love. That is not her roommate. They are munch crunching. What is the problem? But that's here nor there. Let's also talk about women. You guys are so focused on having a situation that is so oppressive to women, when this beautiful queen is sitting there giving you the tools on how to move forward. She's not talking aggressively like y'all like to say about Black women. She's not attacking y'all. She's giving you critical key, and this is not the first time that this has been brought up. Many people have talked about this. Many people have had conversations. Wait, who got a roommate lover? What happened? I missed that part. Girl, pay attention, rewind. But my point is that at the end of the day, many people have talked about this. Many people have warned about this. There's been shifts in all of this. And you made them out to feel like they've been ostracized. You made them out to feel like they are heretics. You made them out to feel like they shouldn't be in front of the pulpit. You've made them, but instead you have people, you rise up, you big up people who are sitting there bashing your own children, bashing your own people. And you don't want to hear it because it's from a woman or a gay man. You don't want to hear that person preach a powerful word because they're gay, or they're a woman, or they're gay and a woman. I mean, the combinations are endless. But because you are othering them, because you have deemed that they don't belong, you have deemed that they're not worthy for whatever reason. We're all unworthy of God's love, to be quite honest with you. The way we've been handling stuff in this world, the way we handle stuff, the way we treat each other, we're all unworthy of God's love and his grace. But guess what? He died for us anyway, because he said we were worthy. So if he said we were worthy, I don't give a damn what you got to say about me. I don't give a damn how many people you try to keep from me, how you try to change the narrative and make me feel like I'm somebody that you don't. I don't care what you got to say, girl. I don't care that you think because I sleep with men or that I love men, that because that makes me unworthy of God's love. I don't care what you think. Because we're all going to be in them white robes in front, being judged by the only judge that matters, the Most High. But nobody wants to have that kind of conversation because it shakes the very foundation of why you're getting tithes and offerings from a community and from people and from a demographic that is dying out. We're all going to be swallowed. We've all been swallowed. We've all been swallowed. That wasn't a random thought, Cupcake. We've all been swallowed or will be swallowed. I don't have a problem with people who want to be with other people, other men behind the pulpit. I don't have a problem with people who want to be with other women and of the same sex, and they are behind the pulpit. I don't have a problem with people who thinks that polyamory is their thing. It's not for me. That may be their thing. I don't have a problem with people that think that way. That's their business. What I have a problem with is those who are going to try to condemn you for feeling that way and for being human. We have lost the ability to humanize others because they make a mistake, or they are attracted to someone else, or that you don't deem is important. For example, Haley Bailey and DDG, whatever his name is, we don't like him. We don't like him for her. She found him worthy to be with him, or for him to be with her. That ain't our business. I don't care. I'm reporting on the news, girl. It doesn't affect me not one way or another. You ain't paying me. It doesn't matter. So you wonder why people are leaving the church or have left the church and who don't want to go back to the church, who are not bringing their children to revitalize the church. Why we're seeing a lot of these churches emptying. Why we're seeing certain camera angles that I saw one mega church, their camera angle is completely different now. They're mostly focused on the pulpit because they know that they probably got 5-10 people up in that huge building that they're getting federal funds for. Let me be quiet. Because if the government found out that they were not getting the amount of people coming into their building, they would lose funding. But you would rather go through, this is what boggles my mind. You would rather go through all of these different things to try to make it seem like you have a congregation instead of fixing the things that you need to do to bring in an actual congregation. You're so busy trying to cover up. That is the major issue with Juanita Bynum, allegedly with Juanita Bynum, allegedly with T.G. Jakes, allegedly with all of these different people. That is the problem that people are having. It's not that you are doing those things. It's that you, number one, are making us feel bad for the things that you're doing. And number two, you are hiding the fact and trying so hard and making it seem like we're boo-boo the damn fool. That we're boo-boo the damn fool. That we don't know what's really going on. You're getting swallowed up just like the rest of them. You're making us, we don't want them having the same bathrooms because, transgender can't be in the bathrooms as transgenders will go ahead and attack our children. When 95%, which I think it's actually 98%, but I could be wrong. 95% of sex offenders are white, heterosexual, cisgendered men. Yeah. Oh, we don't want to see, we can't show these type of movies or TV shows because then, our children will grow up to be gay. I grew up with all my children. What's the other shows? All this heterosexual things. The Brothers. What is it? The Best Man. All of these different heterosexual imagery of a man and a woman kissing, of men and women being in a home with a family. I barely got any type of gay representation. Hey, child, I did grow up on Rugrats. Again, to the family dynamic. None of them were gay in that show. I mean, we could assume that one of the mothers I think the mother of the twins was a little butchy, but that's not the point. Never saw her with a man. But that's not the point. My point is at the end of the day, this is what we got. And I still came out a whole homosexual. So what's your excuse now? Then they're like, well, you know, most people who are homosexual were sexually abused by their family members. Never got sexually abused by my family members. No. Mm-mm. No. What's your next excuse? What you got now? What's up? Oh well, you know, most gay men come out gay because they didn't have a father in their home. My parents are still married. Been married my entire life. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Grew up with both of them in the house. I know a lot of straight heterosexual cisgender men who didn't grow up with their fathers, and they're not gay. So what's your excuse now? What you got now? Most of the people who I talk to that have had grooming situations or have been sexually assaulted or SA, excuse me, have been, it has come from people like churches. Right, Dr. Holt, same thing. Both parents in the house. Didn't have a lot of gay representation growing up. Still gay. What did he say? What about Scooby-Doo? Freddy was smashing everyone, possibly Shaggy and Scooby. You know what? Dana, go away. Got no damn sense. This is a serious conversation, Dana. A mess. Anywho, I really think that we need to really think about next steps. I really do think that we need to think about, and this is not just with churches. This is with groups, clubs, organizations, community-based organizations, all of those different things. What are you doing to change and move the needle? Because this is getting old. So don't complain that it's because kids are listening to horrible music. Don't complain it's because people are watching horrible TV movies and stuff like that. Don't complain because I guard what I let into my spirit. I really do. I like horror movies, but there are certain movies that I'm very careful about. I just don't want it in my spirit. I don't want to sleep like that. I don't want to go to sleep like that. But that's here nor there. That's a personal choice. My point is, you can't blame everything without looking in the mirror. You can't blame everything on everyone else. Maybe it's you. Maybe you're the problem. Maybe you're the issue. Because instead of trying to bash what is happening with Gen Z and Gen Alpha and even millennials, find out why they don't want to come back. Find out what is drawing them to other spaces. Just a thought. Anywho, that's all I got for you guys. I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful evening or day. I will see you guys tonight because I am doing Kwame Speaks Live tonight. Get a double whammy with me today. I'm gonna deep dive on some topics. It's gonna be a top 3 Tuesday. So I'm gonna pick 3 major topics that I think we need to kind of deep dive on and figure out what's going on with that. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy. I got a video shoot today. I got to make some candles. It's a lot going on today. Oh, and there's a plumber coming. My dishwasher's acting a mess, so the plumber's coming to fix that. Let's see. I think that's it. I hope you have a wonderful one. You ain't got to leave. You ain't got nothing to do. I have a lot to do, girl. Kwame Speaks Live. What is all this? What is? You know what? I'm sick of y'all. I'm sick of. I'll be there. Can't wait for my show after this ankle heals. Oh, okay, come on now. Come through with your show. You've been saying that for a year, Dana. I don't. We're waiting on you, girl. You know what? I'm sick of y'all. Y'all ain't got no damn sense. I'm leaving. Y'all have a wonderful, wonderful day. Stay blessed. Stay blessed and stress-free. And we'll see you guys on the other side. Let's get on that. Remember, don't forget to let me ask my
What if we run out of time and second chances? Empty-handed. I wanna know, would you love me better if I go? I'm not home. I wanna know, can we trust this that's about to let us know? I'd go.